this little cutie pie. I'm going to go ahead and flip him upside down so that you guys... Oh, what is all of this? Hang on. These are trimmings from where I put hangers on the back of something today. And I laid all those little trimmings there and then forgot about them. So let's clear that up. I'm going to change this paper tomorrow too. So I've already traced our cute little Santa Claus onto my canvas. And so we're just going to get started painting. I'm just going to paint upside down because, you know, it is what it is. So I am going to make this available to you guys tomorrow. So just be patient with me on that. So I have my water to rinse my brushes, my napkin to get water out of my brushes, my little paper plate. Let me see. I see a little shadowy thing happening, and it's kind of driving me crazy. What is that shadow? I don't know what that is. Okay, so because we're going to add glass to his furry part of his hat and the ball of his hat, I really want to paint that first so it can be nice and dry. So we're going to paint his fuzzy little hat white. We're going to paint his fuzzy little tip of his hat, the little ball on the end, white. And then I'm going to come in and paint his mustache white as well, but then we'll add a little something to it so that it kind of stands out. I'm about to tell you, Dee. Thanks for asking. So on this particular canvas, I didn't want it to be stark white because I wanted his hat, the little fur parts in his mustache question to really show nicely. So I wanted to put a smidge of color on the canvas just so it would pop. So here's what I did. I used Anita's white and I covered my entire canvas in Anita's white. Okay, once the Anita's white was on, I took Folk Art, and I'm going to list all these colors tomorrow with the tracer. I took the Dolphin, which is a skyish blue color. It's made by Folk Art, and I put one dot here, and I put one dot here, because mostly what you're going to see is this area. So I put a dot of blue here and a dot of blue here. And then I took a chip brush, which this is not a chip brush. A chip brush is bigger, but I just took a chip brush and pounced the blue into the wet white paint that was already on my canvas, just to give it a little bit of a spongy blue color. Can you see that? And I'll take a nice picture of that too and post it so you can see. So that's all I did. You could do green, you could do gold, you could do whatever color you want. Just get a little bit of color on the background of your canvas before you get started so that everything pops really nicely. Okay, so we're gonna start with white. And we're gonna get that white stuff painted. I gotta have a drink, my throat's dry. Good idea, Keitha. Good idea. So I'm going to use, actually, because I have to do his mustache, I'm going to go a little bit smaller. I'm going to use, I'll use this one. This one's like, I don't know what this is, guys. I use cheap paintbrushes because I'm mean to them. This is just a paintbrush. It's just a flat, maybe half inch-ish. So I'm going to wet my brush, offload all that water. Get here so you can see me. I'm just going to get some of that water out. 6 by 12. Brenda, I get these. This particular size comes from Dick Blick. Dick Blick. Okay, Michael's doesn't carry this size, but they do carry a 4 by 12, which is just a little bit smaller, and you could shrink this down and put it on that size canvas if you want, or you can make it bigger. Just shrink it down and make it what you want. So I'm going to start with his hat, and I'm just going to get some white on, and I'm going to make sure I cover up those tracer lines. We don't want those showing through. And I'm just going to get some white on my canvas just to get his little hat started. Because we want that to dry so we can put glass on top of it. Woo! Girls, I'm having the hot flash of all hot flashes, and I have to tell you what. So I'm going to the doctor tomorrow, the girly doctor. If you're a fella here, I apologize. I'm going to the girly doctor tomorrow, and we're getting this crap taken care of because I am miserable. You know, they took me off of those hormones because my grandmother had breast cancer, and I was more prone to breast cancer if I kept taking the hormone treatments. And I'm not sleeping. I am a big crybaby. I'm just miserable, and I'm like, I don't even care. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Susie. Hey, Gina. So I'm going back to the doctor tomorrow. They got to do something for me, or Cindy's going on some mass crazy thing. I don't even know what's going to happen. We may have to fix this if we get some red wrapped up in there, but we're just going to get a little white on top because we're going to put glass on top of these two things. But we want it to have a nice clear background. So I'm just making good and sure that my tracer lines are covered up. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do, so this is the top band of his little hat. This is the little ball on his hat. So I'm going to get his mustache done. And let's just get a little bit of white. Hey, Joan. On his mustache. Cute Santy. Then we'll do his face. Actually, we probably need to do the red because it may take 2 coats. I know, Jean. Actually, I haven't been live in a hot minute because I was doing a lot of stuff, as you know, inside the Shattered Circle. And I had open house. That was last weekend, this past weekend, yesterday weekend. Here at the store in Georgia, and I had a business conference, and I had the Angel Challenge. So I haven't really been live in this group in a hot minute. That's why I'm here, because I'm like, I gotta go see my people. Gotta go love on my people. Hey, Dar. So his little pointies on his mustache are a little skinny for this brush. So I'm going to ditch it and get myself a little bit of a pointy brush. See that one? Yay, Sharon! I'm so excited. We're going to have so much fun. Guys, you just don't know. So I'm just going to load this and just get the tips of his little mustache. We may have to touch some of this up, but it's okay. It's okay. Yay, Joanne. I know. I'm glad to see them too. I was like, I hope somebody shows up to love me tonight. This is my favorite place. I love Santa too. Okay, so now we got all our white done, and we may need to come back and futz with that. So I'm going to let that dry. And the next thing I'm going to do is just get some red for his hat, because we may have to double up on that. Thank you, Elizabeth. It is awesome, if I say so myself. Susie, it is $99 for 4 weeks, 4 art pieces, step by step. Hold your hand all the way through. And if you sign up, you get forever challenges. So anytime we do one of those $10 challenges, you get to do it for free. Not the kit, but the just the challenge itself. If you want the kit, you have to pay. Hey, Bev. How are you, love? Are you taking care of my sister? So I am getting just another brush, and this color I'm using is Americana Cherry Red. Don't worry, I'll be listing this. No, girl, I don't pick up the supplies, but I will supply you with a total supply list. You'll get a supply list that is all-inclusive for all 4 art pieces. You pick up your own supplies. That would cost me $1 quadrillion. Let's see. Maybe not that much. Today is my day of exaggeration. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and paint his hat. This is probably too small of a brush, but we're going to go with it anyway. There is a supply list, and I can tell you this, if I'm remembering right, I think you can do, yeah, sorry. I'm feeling a little punchy today. I think you can do, if I'm remembering correctly, all 4 pieces with a 16-ounce resin kit. Pretty sure it's less than 16 ounces of resin for all 4 pieces. If that's incorrect, I apologize, but I'm almost positive that that's what it is. Yeah, and we give you the entire list. When you sign up, join the Facebook page. When you sign up, you should be setting up your username and password. And it'll log you right in. You'll watch a video of me saying thank you, thank you, thank you for hanging out with us crazy people. And then you can go and look at some things. There's a link for you to sign up for the Facebook page. I have to do that manually. So if I don't find the wait list, where are you looking, girl? Should be a live link at the bottom. Don't go to the Shattered Circle. Susie, click this link. Let me see if I can do it again. Click this link. You should see all the things about boot camp and a link to sign up. This is kind of hard painting upside down. I'm going to turn it sideways for a minute because I'm having a little struggle. I'm on a struggle bus. So yeah, you sign up, you click the link, you create your username and password. It's going to throw you over to the page. There's a link to join the Facebook page because next Monday on the 18th is when we start. We're going to have an opening ceremony talking about all the things, letting you know what to expect. And the videos are released one at a time because they are successively. I'm going to change that word up a little bit. Each video adds a little bit of new techniques. So the very first video is the seahorse, which is just kind of what I call sculpting glass on canvas. And then the next one, we add a little something to it. We're going to be cutting glass. And then 4 items, Joan. The next one, you cut glass. The next one, it gets progressively a little bit more difficult because we want to give you all the things that you need to be a successful glass artist. And there are so many video tutorials inside that website, you don't even know. There are videos on how to cut glass, how to break glass, where to find glass. Yes, Brenda, we'll have our very own private Facebook page where it's only the people who are in boot camp on that page. So we'll all be loving on each other and helping each other along. Oh, gee, you're so sweet. So, yeah, videos on how to tint resin, how to find glass, how to cut glass, how to use art resin, everything. Anything that you think you need to know about making your own glass art pieces are in that boot camp under the resources. All the things. We left nothing out. 4 art pieces in 4 weeks, starting next Monday. But like I said before, if you can't start on Monday, they're all video recorded. You can do it at your own convenience. You don't have to start, so it would be great to gift to someone. Susan, don't go to the Facebook page, baby. Oh, you mean the Shattered Circle Facebook page? Personal info card, but it doesn't do anything. I can't see your comment, Susan. When we get done with our cute little Santa Claus, I'll help you out, sister. Don't worry. We'll get you taken care of. Okay, so our hat is done. He looks a little odd because he doesn't really look like Santa yet, but we're going to fix that. So right now, I'm going to put a little bit of color on his cute little face. That's okay, Joan. Take your time, girlfriend. Hey, Donna. This color is Craft Smart. It's made by Michaels. It is called Peach. And if you can't find this color, just get Peach. It's just a peachy skin tone color. So don't stress out over the name, okay? Just get a peach. Let's see. Hey, Colette, how are you? Pat. You're so funny. Okay, so let's paint the face. And because I have to kind of go around some things, I'm going to use this brush, which is just a small point. I'm going to wet it, offload, and we'll get just some skin color on his little face. Then we're going to come back and fix it up a little. We'll give him some eyeballs, a cute little nose. I love painting this stuff. Hey, V. Richard. I thought you were all caught up, dude. No? Is Madison holding you down? Is she making you do honeydews instead of paint? I'm ready for Santa, too. I had to be quiet while I did that. I'm going to turn it this way for a second. I see that my head is all up in y'all's face. Good thing I have a hat on. Y'all be seeing all my gray hairs. Okay, so I just got a little color in this area where his face is. And I can see right now I didn't really take into consideration the sides of his head. So I'm going to let this sit for a second and let's rinse off. And I'm going to come back up here. Sherry, you can buy it from me or you can get it wherever you want. There'll be a list of what you need and it's not much, honestly. There is probably the most glass you'll need is for the seahorse and it's very minimal glass. Woo! Trying to hold out for Black Friday. I don't decorate for Christmas, so I'm not trying to hold out for anything. All right, I'm going to do another really quick, excuse me, coat of red. Try not to make this last all night, but who would be better to spend the night with except you guys? Hello, Santa. Okay, so I'm just going to real quick give it a second coat, and then I'm going to use a darker red to just give it some shadowing. You could, my voice is trying to be crazy. Yeah, I can't get it closer, sweetie. I just can't. It's as close as I can get. Once I get started on some details, I'll try to raise it up. And honestly, if it was any closer to the camera, I wouldn't be able to even paint. It's only about 18 inches from the camera turned down, and then I wouldn't be able to get to the painting. But I'll do my best to show you each step. I get it. I got old lady eyes, so I understand not being able to see. This girl half blind. There is no detail yet anyway, so you're not missing anything. But I'll definitely show you when it gets to that point. Just a quick second coat. Try not to get it all blobbed. got out of the lines, just like me, to color outside the lines. All right, we're almost there. So this is just the cherry red again. Nothing done to it yet, really. Just getting a second coat because reds are hard. Almost any red that you use, and if you've ever tried to paint a room red, you know this. Almost any red that you use, you have to do multiples. Sometimes it's even better to paint a dark color first and then red on top. Reds are translucent because if you add, if the people who are making the paint added more tint to the binder that makes red, it wouldn't be paint anymore. There's so much red in it. Okay, so while this red is wet, I am going to take another color. Oh, Cindy. This is Americana Napa Red. Sorry, I couldn't find the color. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this darker burgundy color in a couple of places just to give it some depth. I think I am. It's almost a burgundy. Can you see the difference in that color versus that color? So let me see if I can raise this just a little for you guys. Let me see what I got I can raise it with. I'll put it on a couple of these. Ugh. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit closer for you guys, and I'll tilt it up too. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to wet my brush, just another flat paintbrush, and I'm just going to dip the corner. I'm not going to do that heavy offloading because I do want a large amount of paint. Just want to make sure I don't have too much water in my brush. So I'm going to dip my corner in. It's pretty loaded, can you tell? And I am going to just brush around the top of the hat where it meets the fur. And I'll show you this close up. And I'm not trying to be fancy. Yay, Susie! I'm not trying to be fancy at all. I just want a little more detail. Can you see that? It's just a little bit of that Napa along the top edge of that fur. Got it? I love those boards too. Yes, I'm all about it. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to dip the corner in my brush, and I'm going to go around just in a couple of spots around his little fur ball. You can go all the way around if you want. I'm not going to be bothered with all that. Already got into my red. Let me see. Dip again. Just to give it, can you see that? Just to give it a little shadowy effect around that spot. Now, right here, I'm going to see if I can point. Right here, where it's red here and red here, this is the tip of his hat that hits that ball. So you want to kind of shadow on each side of that tip, that fabric that holds the ball on, so that it separates it from the rest of the hat. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to rinse off a little bit. Offload, and I'm going to get a little bit of that paint on the corner of my brush, and I am going to just on each side of that fur ball or that little piece of fabric that holds the ball on. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see. That way it distinguishes. I'm trying to go around it just a little bit. It distinguishes that tip from this part of the hat. Does that make sense? So you're going to shadow on each side of that tiny little piece so that you can see that that's a separate piece of fabric. Does that make sense? Yeah? Hey, Gretchy. How are you, girl? Missed your whole face. So I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to dip in, and I'm going to make a little bit of a shadow line right here, just for fun. So basically, I'm just adding a little detail. I'm just going to come over here, add a little something, maybe a little something over here. No rhyme or reason. We'll do a little bit over here. Just trying to give it a little bit of depth and dimension. Okay, let me turn it around so I can kind of see. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Can you guys see that? Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to find another brush that's clean, and we're going to do a few little things to his face. Okay, we're going to use our red to do some blushing to his cheeks and his nose, and then we'll use some of our white to do some highlighting. So I'm going to find a nice brush. This is actually an angled brush. It's a 3/8 inch little angle. Can you see that? I'm going to wet it. And I'm going to dip the pointy end, you know, that end that sticks out longer. I'm going to dip that into my red. Can you see where I'm working now? I feel like I'm shadowing myself. I'm going to dip that corner into my red just a little. Can you see that? I'm going to offload it both sides. Then I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to flip this at least sideways so I can do it better, because I don't want to get my hand in that red. Oopsie. And I am going to give his little nose right on the top a little bit of that red. I have to be quiet while I'm doing this. Hang on. Need to add a little more water. Just give the top of his nose a little bit of red paint. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take that same brush. I'm going to dip into my white, the same tip, just like that. I'm going to offload, and I'm going to come around and do the bottom. Now I'm going to rinse myself. Hey, Karen. I'm going to get a little bit more white on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of blend that through. I'm pretty happy with that. Might add a little smidge of that peachy color back into the middle. Just do it till you like it. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, guys. That's what I have to do. Hold your mouth right, and you have to be quiet. You can't do anything crazy. So, and I'm going to do it again on the tops of his cheeks, okay? So we're going to give him some little red cheeks, right like that. So I'm going to get just a tiny bit on my brush. I'm going to offload. I don't think I got enough water on my brush. This wants to be dry. And we're going to give him just a little bit of cheek color. And I'm going to show you this in one sec. There we go. Can you see that? So he's got a little red nose from the cold, and he's got a little cheeky going on from the cold as well. We're going to add a few little white pieces in there for some highlight. That's okay, Janet. No problem. So I'm going to dip into my white, offload a little, and we'll come in and give him some white underneath that red. Let's see, maybe a little bit right here under that mustache. I love my angle brush too. I'm trying to decide. So I got to look at it this way for a second. I'm trying to decide what he needs, because something. Oh, I think it's because his mustache is too white. We need to add some color to his mustache. And then, oh, he needs eyeballs. What the what, man? Where's my black? Lamp Black Americana. We'll give him some eyeballs, and then we'll decide what's what and what needs to happen next. Okay, so I'm going to use a small round for his little eyeballs. It's easier to control if you're making a little round circle. So we'll load that up and give him some eyeballs here. Got to give him some sparkle in his eyes too, so don't delay. I'm going to rinse it. I got too many brushes in my water. I'm going to rinse it and dip into my white a little bit. And we got to give him some sparkle in his eyes. Aww, he's so cute. Okay, so let's futz with his mustache just a smidge. And then we will start on our glass parts. That's what we're all here for, right? So I'm going to take my angle brush again, and I'm going to put some more white on his mustache area. Because I like to work, when I'm shadowing, I like to work wet on wet. And I see something I need to do already. We're going to do his mustache, though. He is pretty cute. Just something fun and whimsical. Everything doesn't have to be serious. My kitty cat's fussing at me. My kitty cat said, "I can hear you. Why aren't you in here loving me?" Okay, so now I'm going to take that same dolphin blue that we used in our background, and I'm just going to put a little dot on my plate because I only need just a smidge because I want to put like a smidge of grayish color in his mustache. So using my same wet or dirty brush that has white in it, I'm going to dip just that tiny corner into that blue because my brush has white on it already. I'm going to go back and forth to kind of mix it into my brush. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to go around the lip of his mustache on both sides. So we'll go like this, just to give it a little distinction. Does that make sense? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to wet that. So I'm just getting a tiny bit of blue. You could use the black and just kind of make it a little bit of a gray color. We'll put a tiny bit of that black in. Because we just want to distinguish his mustache from the rest of the white. Okay? That makes sense? So we'll just give him a little bit of color. My cat is like, what is going on? So I'm going to fill this in with some white. That's his hair, because I didn't take that into account, really. And down here, I'm still using my dirty brush because I'm lazy and I don't like to wash 100 brushes. Down here, where his mustache meets in the middle, where his cute little lips would be, I am just going to add a tiny bit of red into that little triangle. Like that's his mouth. Whoa! That's so cute. Mickey, it is a 6x12. You can get the 6x12 canvases at Dick Blick. They don't really make them at, they don't make the 6x12 at Michael's, which bugs me because it's my favorite canvas size for the holidays. But you can get them at dickblick.com. Dick Blick Art Materials, whatever that means. Okay, so is he not adorable? Let me show you close up. There's his cute little face. See how when we added the blue, that little bit of color to his mustache, it made his mustache stand out so much. And adding that shadowing to his hat really makes it stand out. Okay, so guess what's next, guys? Guess what we're about to do? We are about to do some glass and some resin. Let me find my cup. So I am going to use Starfire, which is perfectly clear glass. There's no color to it whatsoever. And I'm going to put glass in his little snowball area and on his hat, the fur part of his hat. Now, I've had to find my glue. I'm going to use some Aleene's clear tacky glue just to dam in my glass. Is he not cute? I love doing Christmas stuff, guys. Y'all are going to be freaking out by the end of this week when we do all these cute Christmas lives. We're going to do some fun, whimsical stuff. So I'm just outlining where I want to put my glass. It's going to kind of help me keep it dammed in, all in place. So cute. Yeah, if you have a 4x12, just shrink that down a little. Just make him a little skinnier and go for it, girl. Yes, you could, Colette. You could definitely put modeling paste on the hat. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that glass and pile it up on his hat. Poor kitty cat. Can't come in here when it's resin time. So we'll put a little bit. Yay, Susan! Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. And you use the member link, right? Oh my goodness, this is gonna be so cute. Okay, so I got the glass on the little ball. No, Joanne, I don't, but only because nobody comes to my house for Christmas. My mom lives in South Haven, Mississippi, which is just outside of Memphis, as do my kids. And so I always go home to see my mom and my kids. They never come see me. So I just don't decorate. And I have to decorate the store. And I have to start doing all my Christmas stuff. I'm going to use my hands to kind of keep my glass in line. To keep it from going crazy. And I have to decorate the store. And I have to start doing all my Christmas stuff like in October. So by the time it's time to decorate my own house, I'm over it. Hey, Cindy from Texas. How are you? Hey, Connie. Glad you made it. So I'm just going to start adding a little bit of glass to his hat. This is going to be so cute. So I did an art show this weekend in Memphis, guys. I didn't really do it. My son did it for me because I went to Charleston for a convention, a business conference, but my son did the art show for me, guys, and it was super, super successful. Just so you know, you can, people want to tell you you can't, don't believe them. You can make a living selling art. I made $2,500 this weekend, and I didn't even have to go. Didn't even have to show up. Okay, I need to stand up so I can actually see what I'm doing. He is so super cute. Hey, Cindy. Okay, I'm futzing around now. I'm trying to get some little pieces in. That would look good, Richard. I can't wait to see that. You know what? I'm a glass whore too. I tell you what, I've got more glass than you can shake a stick at. Of every kind. Oh my goodness. Nola Donna! Get out of town! What year? That is too funny. Oh my gosh. I graduated from South Haven in 1991. I graduated high school in 1981. Susan, all the videos that I'm doing this week will be in the Art Shattered page. It usually takes me a few weeks to get them uploaded into the Shattered Circle because it takes a lot of time, and this is the crazy time of year. But they will always be here in Art Shattered and eventually on the Shattered Circle. Does that make sense? 1990. Oh, bless her. I hear ya. It was a good school. Your brother graduated in 85. My sister graduated in 83. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Okay, look how cute this is. I can't even stand it. Who is ready to resin? It's so cute. Let me move all this stuff out the way. We're going to mix up some resin, and I'm only going to mix up about 3 ounces. I don't even think it'll take it. I probably should just do 2, but I'm super paranoid these days because apparently my brain hasn't been working very well when it comes to resin mixing time. So I am going to get my gloves on, and he is so cute. I'm going to get my gloves on the right way. What's Sherry looking for? Oh, somebody said something about red. Did somebody ask if I had 1961? Is that the year you were born, Pat? I was born in 63. I love you, girl. You're so funny. Brenda, this template, here is the tracer. And I will have this available for you to download tomorrow in the Art Shattered on this page. Okay, so I'm trying to decide about how much resin to mix. I'm thinking I'm going to dial it down a notch. Let me get a new cup because, sorry, I'm limping too because I have a bad foot. Because my toe hurts, because I'm crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just mix 2 ounces and keep my fingers crossed. Glad you made it, Maddie. Yeah, I wish we had red glass. The only way I have red glass is you can buy the teeny tiny little seed red glass on... there's a couple of Daris, I think, but it's not the same, and I don't like it. I just use the toe hurts. I just use tinted to tint my glass. I don't think it's broken. I think that, hey, Arlene, I think that it might be fractured. It's the very last joint on my second toe to my biggest. And the whole tip is black, but I can walk. So I think it's either jammed or Accent Depot has the red. All right. Maybe I'll check that out and post the link if we need to. I don't know anything about Accent Depot. Miss Pat. Okay, so I'm going to mix up 2 ounces of resin. Let me go ahead and get started on this. I'm going to put 1 ounce of this is the resin. It's a 2-part resin. Yay, Rhonda. Thanks for letting us know. I use Art Resin exclusively. It's a 2-part resin that you mix 50-50. If you use a different resin, which I would not suggest, then you need to follow the directions on the resin that you are using. Oh, you have to have a tax ID? Well, I'll check it out. Maybe if I like it, I will get some for you guys. So now I'm going to use the hardener, which is the 2nd part. And yeah, I was going to do that, G, but the only tape I had was Scotch tape. So I'm going to have to go get some medical tapes or something. So I'm going to add my 2nd ounce very slowly because this stuff is like molasses. You think you just pour it a little and then it just keeps growing. So we'll stop. Oh, cool. You know I like cheap. We'll stop and let it grow, and that is perfectly 2 ounces. 2 ounces. So we got 1 ounce of hardener, 1 ounce of resin in our cup. If you are new, I say this every time. I'm going to always say it every time. If you are new to pouring resin, my suggestion is to mix it in 2 cups. Put 1 part in this cup, 1 part in this cup, then combine them. That way you're very accurate about your measurement, because if you are not, and you over pour 1 part, then you could have a disaster on your hands. Yes, you could have a disaster on your hands and your resin will never dry. So we are going to mix this for 3 minutes. I'm going to stir. Is my girl here, Rima? Are you still here? Are you still hanging? I'm stirring. I'm stirring. I made 2 ounces total. 1 ounce of part A, 1 ounce of part B. We're going to stir for 3 minutes because, yes, Connie, if you stir slowly and consistently, scrape your sides, scrape the bottom for 3 total minutes, you're going to have less bubbles. If you go after it like this, you're going to incorporate a ton of bubbles in your art piece, and then you're going to have to fight with that torch, and you want to minimize that as much as possible. Somebody asked the cups. Susie, these cups came from thepaintstore.com, okay? Thepaintstore.com. They're cheap as all get out. I buy them by the hundreds, and I use them a couple of times, then I toss them. And you can wipe, thank you, Rima, you can just wipe these out, or sometimes I just leave my stick in it, let it dry, and then pull the whole thing out, because the resin does not stick to the plastic. But it's better sometimes if you just wipe it out with a paper towel while you still have your gloves on. You throw that in there. Gotcha, Rima. I'm stirring. I have to talk at the same time. So with that said, let's pour resin. Let's go down here. Oh, look at Santa. Oh, yeah, Richard, you got those. But when we do the next boot camp, when we redo it, Richard, you'll be able to get the next one if you choose. You don't have to, but you'll be able to get it at a discount because you already did boot camp. I forgot you were in boot camp. That's where we found you, isn't it? That's where we got you hooked. I'm not going to put any bubbles here. Do you think I need bubbles? Oh, did I get bubbles in here? Absolutely. You're always going to get bubbles when you're stirring something because you're incorporating air. I don't have a lot of bubbles, but we're going to hit those with my heat gun or my torch anyway. So, Marie, what's on here is a plaster. It is made by... I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's a texture. It's a sand texture from Hobby Lobby, but you can totally use real sand. And we will teach you how to do that as well. All you got to do is mix glue with sand, and you got it. More strips. Me and cutting strip. I'm going to get y'all some strips, I promise. Lynette, our glass is $6 a pound, and you do not need even a full pound. I think you need 3 pounds or maybe 2 pounds for the seahorse, and all the others are minimal. Maybe a half a pound for the flower garden, a handful for the cross, and a handful for the Crab Island. So it's very minimal. And you don't have to use my glass. You can use broken glass that, from anywhere. You could break some clear bottles, break some wine bottles, whatever. Just have it available for you. Like a story puppy. Oh, goodness, Kathy. You might have to rewatch. All I did really was hand paint Santa Claus. I traced him on. I created myself a little template, and I traced him on and just basically did some painting. Now what we've done is added some glass. This is crushed glass, like from your shower door, when your shower door busts into a million pieces. So it's crushed glass. We've added that to the top of his hat and to the ball of his hat. And now we're going to use resin to make it all stick together. So just like always, what I need to do is pour my resin on my glass. Yay, Marie! I'm going to pour the resin on my little glass parts first. I always do it this way because it does self-level. So what it's going to do is run down through that glass and run out the edges, so that will help us determine how much resin we need to use and not overuse, because resin's not cheap, guys. Resin is not cheap. So it is my goal in life to teach you how to make a beautiful resin piece without it costing you a bajillion dollars. Because if you use it the way some people teach you to use it, you will waste so much resin, and that means wasting money. Thank you, Maury. Hi, love. I haven't forgotten about you. I've just had a crazy couple of weeks, so we will definitely get together about a class. So I've got it all on the glass at his head. So I'm going to get his little pom-pom. Is that what it's called? I'm glad it was agreeable too, Marie. They can be crazy sometimes. Don't forget, if you joined, do not forget to join our Facebook page. The minute I get done from here, I'm going to go in and and approve all you wonderful ladies who have joined, and make sure you keep up. I will be posting some information inside there over the next few days that you will need, that will be important. So make sure you join. Okay, I'm glad I only did 2 ounces because I still have an ounce left in my cup. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit down here. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit up here. Then I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to use my hands to smear it around. Kathy, you have until Monday at 7 p.m. because that is when we have our opening ceremonies, and then we'll shut the link down as we open as we open the doors. So you have until Monday at 7 p.m. to join, because we like to pay all of our attention to our people once they're in. So I'm just smearing this resin around with my hands, and look how it makes that red pop. Oh my goodness, this is so stinking cute. Can't wait for you to see what we're doing tomorrow. So I'm just using my hands, giving it a little massage. Push it around, cover my whole canvas. Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday the 18th, because we are going to go live on the Facebook page on Monday and have our little opening ceremony. Tell you what to do, where to go, where to find all the things. Oh my gosh, y'all. So I seriously have an ounce of resin left. A whole ounce. So I'll be doing a Christmas tree. Patty, if you're a TSC member, you can go over to the Shattered Circle Facebook page. And in the announcements section, I posted a link just for you because you get half price. So if you are a member of the Shattered Circle membership, do not join using the link posted in this live. Go over to the Facebook page for the Shattered Circle and use that link. Okay, so he is nice and covered. All the glass is covered. All the canvas is covered all around him. Is he not cute, Sandy? He's so cute. And now I'm going to take my gloves off carefully because I don't want to slap that all up in my face. So I'm going to just peel my gloves off. very carefully. Ugh. And I'm going to torch this booger real quick. Now we torch to get any existing bubbles out of our canvas that happen when you're mixing. Anytime you're mixing two things together and stirring, you're going to get bubbles. Okay, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to get me a baby torch just to keep from freaking you guys out. Oh, V, I'm sorry. So I use this. This is a propane torch. You can totally use a smaller torch, one of those tiny little 6-inch creme brulee torches. You don't have to use this massive thing. This is just what I have on hand from just years and years and years of doing this stuff. So what pops the bubbles is the heat from the torch, from the flame, not the flame. So keep the flame from the torch off of your canvas. Also, the second thing you need to remember is to keep moving. Once you fire this up, or you can use a heat gun or even a blow dryer on low setting, low air, high heat. Just don't blow your glass all over the place. You have to be really careful if you're using a blow dryer. But you can use a heat gun or a little mini kitchen torch. So you want to keep the fire off your canvas and you want to keep your fire moving. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. Get us a flame. Can you see the fire? We have fire. I'm going to turn it down a little and I'm going to just real quick move the heat across my canvas and I can visibly see those bubbles popping. Never stop your heat source and focus on one spot because you will burn your resin, you will burn your canvas, you will make it turn yellow, and you do not want that. You've already worked so hard to get this piece done. So keep the flame off of your canvas and always keep your arm and your heat source moving. We are done. If you're using a torch, never touch that. Never touch it. It hurts. It'll burn you. Okay, so I'm going to put it over here on that table so it's not close to anything that would burn. And look what we did, guys. I had a little bit of a red dot on the back side of my canvas down here on the head end. So I'm going to squirt a little bit of alcohol onto a paper towel or a towel, and I'm going to see if I can't get that off. It looks like, there we go. It's just a little bit of red paint. I didn't want to have to fix that, so just wiping it off. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, is he not adorable? Hey, Judy. He is so cute. Look at him. Oh, my goodness. Is he not stinking adorable? I love him so much.